fatal heart impacts, past painful scars. In fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose, pick a new silver excuse. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kiru's show here. And now, whenever we last left off with this series, Izuku Midoriya and Hercules, these two were about to face off against the Chaos King and his army, with the remaining gods of the Greek pantheon. Now, the Earth's mightiest heroes have all been defeated, and they are, quote-unquote, dead, trapped in a state of sleep. Their souls cannot pass on, because no one is ruling over hell. And Midoriya, him and these gods are the last ones standing in front of the Chaos King and his quest to destroy the multiverse. Now, the Chaos King simply just does resurrect his own forces and sends them forwards once again, as we do have Midoriya, who he's currently bum rushing the entire army. And he's swinging around both these weapons with all of his might. And he's ripping through the various pantheons of gods in front of him, as he's shouting for the Chaos King to simply just face both of them. Now, Midoriya, he does just head straight through everyone, as he does face off against Ares, who does actually go to bring his hands up and grab Midoriya by his arm. As Midoriya, he's bringing down Mjolnir. Now, Ares, he's trying to stop Midoriya's wrist as much as he can as he's bending it. Midoriya remarking that Ares, he's stronger. However, he's forgetting about one simple thing. Now, Midoriya does go to let go of Mjolnir, as he does force his hand directly on Ares' windpipe. Before bringing up his other hand, he does just smash him across the face with the dull side of Stormbreaker. And his head, it's swiftly broken and shattered into pieces as Midoriya, he does just go to drop Ares before going to throw his body down and grabbing Mjolnir. As he does then go to throw these two together and blast lightning directly at Zeus, as Zeus does go to bring his hands up to protect against himself. Now, you do then have Midoriya, who does go to rush in, him throwing Mjolnir as it does hit Zeus, and send him flying backwards. As Midoriya, he does rush in, and the hammer does come back to him. Midoriya catching the hammer, and just going to throw himself upwards, as he does go to throw his body downwards with Stormbreaker, as he does cut into the ground. Midoriya throwing up his right hand and blasting away with lightning, as Midoriya, he's just trying to constantly bombard Zeus. He's killed Ares once before, and he's already done it again. However, facing off against Zeus, that is something new to him. Now, Zeus is just trying to stay on the defensive side. That is Uru metal, and the force behind that kid is stronger than Thor. As Midoriya, he's just relentless. As you do actually have Ares, who does go to blast Midoriya with some power, and actually fight back. Now, Zeus, he actually does go to pick up something that is right next to him, as he does pick up Steve Rogers' shield. Now, he does go to throw this in front of Midoriya, as Midoriya, he does slam down on it with Mjolnir, and a shockwave does form. As Midoriya, he does go to throw back up his other hand, and cave down it as hard as he can with Stormbreaker. Now, Zeus, he's trying to keep it together, As Midoriya, he's just relentless, hammering away over and over again with both of these weapons. As Midoriya, he does just go to throw Mjolnir underneath the shield, and it does actually land behind Zeus. As Midoriya, he does go to grab the shield by the bottom of it and throw it upwards into Zeus's face, which he is caught off guard by. Midoriya then actually going to watch as Zeus does trip over Mjolnir. And Midoriya, he does actually quickly take his chance. With the shield in one hand, he does let go of Stormbreaker, before stepping forwards and putting his foot right onto Zeus's stomach, and telling him that he is defeated, as he does go to bring up his shield with both of his hands. And he decapitates this god. Now, as this does happen, you do see everyone around, who they did just watch that happen, as Midoriya would turn, him picking up Stormbreaker before actually calling back Mjolnir, which does fly up off the ground. Now, Midoriya is panting heavily. That relentless barrage was something that he didn't think would work. And with no strategy against a god like that, he shouldn't have been possible. Now, with that being said, you do also then have the Chaos King, who he's taking great enjoyment in watching these heroes squirm. Now, you do actually then have Athena, who she would reveal that she is in on this little fiasco, helping the Chaos King thrive and kill gods. She believes that life, yeah, they messed up the first time, and they don't deserve a second chance. Now, Midoriya would step forwards and ask this petty god as to why does she believe that? I do not need to take questions, let alone answer them, from an insect like you. What I would say, as he does hold up both of his hands, and Athena can see Midoriya's weapons, and she does stare at this human, or this mere mortal. Somehow he's gotten his hands on Mjolnir and Stormbreaker. Along with that, he has the possession of a cosmic cube, his ring, and the Infinity Gauntlet. Interesting. So, exactly what are you going to do with those? You see, I was wondering something. Midoriya would say, bringing up his left hand, as Stormbreaker does begin to start charging with blue electricity. However, Midoriya, he does use the Power Stone, as the handle begins to glow purple, and the metal, it does begin to shine. As Midoriya, holding up this hammer, does blast lightning directly at Athena, and she does go to bring up her shield to block it. As the moment she does do that, Midoriya does use the Space Stone, and move directly behind her, as she does go to spin around and try and stab Midoriya, who does just go to grab her weapon with his bare hand. And she is surprised that he's holding her back, as he does just snap her blade before going to grab her by her throat and pick her up, asking her what she was saying about him being a mere human. To which she does stare on in horror, as she looks at Midoriya's eyes, and she realizes that there's a void within this man. As Midoriya, he does just go to crush her windpipe, before letting her fall. Now, Midoriya and Hercules, they only have a few seconds to recuperate, and they need to use this time to plan things out. Now, you do actually then have Gaia, or the Mother of Gods, who she does talk about how she can give them a boost and help them. Now, Midoriya would ask her if she can give this boost to both of them. And she would explain that she can, but it will not be as effective. And that Hercules, he has to be the one to face the Chaos King. Otherwise, the multiverse will fall to darkness. And it will truly fall into oblivion, where the Chaos King comes from. What? Now, Gaia would just bring up her hands and boost Hercules' power, as she does then tell Midoriya that oblivion is what chaos comes from, and that this is simply just not even a drop of this being's true power. This guy's wiping out the multiverse, and you're telling me that the thing he comes from is stronger? Yes. It's terrifying power. Damn it. Now, Midoriya shouts that he's tired of leaving work in the hands of gods. He's done that before and he's found that they can be quite unreliable, since he's killed many today. Now, Midoriya would walk forwards to Gaia and bring his hand up, asking her if she can boost his power as well. To which she would just tell Midoriya she can't. She's already given her blessing to Hercules. Now, we do then have Midoriya, who he does want to at least help out and do what he can, as he does bring up the Infinity Gauntlets. And he does actually think, what can he do to help here? Is there anything he really even can do? Now, Midoriya's heart is beating in his ears, and he's trying to focus. What can he do? What can he do? Shit! Now, Midoriya, he would actually bring up his hand and pull the ring off of his finger, as he does go to put it onto the Infinity Gauntlet. And he does wonder if he can combine these two powers together. He should be able to do it, right? Now, Midoriya would watch as Hercules and the Chaos King, both of these immense forces are fighting, and they're going blow for blow. As Midoriya, he does let the power course through his body, and Midoriya's body then does shift and change. As Midoriya begins to grow, larger and larger, as the gods of the Pantheon watch Midoriya shift into the void. Now, the Chaos King, he's already dealing with Hercules. However, after he does receive a blow from behind, he would turn and see Midoriya, as he does just scream at the king. The sound Midoriya makes can be heard across space, and potentially even time. Now, this is insane. How does this boy hold so much power? He's already got the gauntlet, the cube, and the power of Thor on his side. However, he still does try to fight, and he's just simply a mortal man. Now, Midoriya, he does try to help out Hercules. However, not much can be done for Midoriya. The king, he believes to have killed Midoriya already. Whenever Midoriya, who was trying to be cautious of the earth, he did go in for a blow against the king. And he did just go to turn around and throw his hands directly through Midoriya's chest and rip him apart. Chunks of him floating through space, and his head would be as large as the sun. Now, Midoriya's giant corpse, it does lie in space. As Midoriya, he does use the Infinity Gauntlet, and he would shift himself back to normal as the giant body does disappear. And Hercules is currently fending off the king. He is on the verge of exhaustion, And if he loses here right now, the multiverse is doomed. Now, Midoriya, he's still floating in space, as he does get to open his eyes. And he can hear it. His heart that was torn out, it's still beating. There's a rhythm to it, too. It's quite nice. It's quite peaceful. Now, Midoriya would open his eyes as a man who is nothing but pure white shines in the void. As Midoriya, he does look at this being in front of him, as he does get a step forwards. Every step he does take, he leaves a, footprint of sunlight. And he does eventually come straight to Midoriya and bring his hand up. As Midoriya, he can still hear it, that heartbeat. And he does look down. The man's hand is glowing, and he does want to at least say something. Midoriya doesn't know. He feels it though. Who are you? I am beyond. Beyond? That doesn't make sense. What are you? I am beyond. What? Please just say something else other than that. You wish to win. Yes, I do. And you're willing to do anything. You're willing to take the pacifist route or even be a complete warlord, correct? Yes. Then, would you obliterate the rest of the multiverse if it means killing him? Now, Midoriya would look at this, and he would ask this man exactly what does he mean. As he does say, the next few things. Now, we will actually cut back to Hercules and the King, as both these two, they are actually fighting for dominance. And they are close to crushing the planet, as the moon's been knocked out of orbit. And these two are trying to force one another into the sun, as neither one is able to do so. Now, the Chaos King does take down Hercules, being able to stab him in the chest and rip out his beating heart. As the gods of the Pantheon, they all do watch on in horror. Now, you do actually then have Midoriya, who he actually would just say a simple word. Enough. As he does reappear. Now, you do have Midoriya who does actually float down. He has the gauntlet in one hand, and the ring on one of his fingers, as his hair is flowing with power. And Midoriya's eyes, they course with yellow. As Midoriya does tell the Chaos King to leave. Now, the Chaos King would laugh, and he does call Midoriya an insolent mortal. Now, Midoriya would look up at the Chaos King, and he does just tell him that he's not a mortal. Now, the king would just look down at the planet and ask him what is he going to do. He's killed Hercules, and not even he can stand it to him as he is now. To which Midoriya, he would just shout one simple phrase. No! And bring his hand up, blasting the Chaos King. Now, the entire blast that Midoriya does send out, it tears apart space and time in that direction, as Midoriya blows away the Chaos King. as he does go to drop down onto his knees, as the planet, it tears apart, and it goes to head into space. Now, Midoriya does just drop down onto his knees, and he does try to at least gain his own bearing over the deal he just made. This power, it's too much. Now, Midoriya would just go to bring up his hand, and he does pull the ring off his finger, and he does then pull off the Infinity Gauntlet. Now, Midoriya is trying to calm down as he does look down to where the planet used to be. All of space and time, the entire multiverse is gone. He destroyed it. I destroyed what's left. Is this it? Now, Midoriya would get angry, and he would go to lash out, letting his power explode in the darkness as he does scream out in anger. Now, as Midoriya would do this, you do actually have the ring and the Infinity Gauntlet, which they are sent flying, and they fall into the nothingness of space. Now, Midoriya would watch these two items fall, as he would actually go to bring his hand up, and at least see if Mjolnir does still remain. Now, after a minute, Midoriya does find that Mjolnir must have fallen into that void as well, as Midoriya, he does just sit down on this landmass and think. Less than a day ago, his life was perfect. And now here he does sit here, in the emptiness of the multiverse. Now, you do actually then have the one above all, which would meet Midoriya in the void. Are you alright? No, I am not. I took your deal. I thought I could not destroy it, you know? I see. Well, it's all complicated. I get it. A power of a god? Your power. It's too much for even this simple little dimension. I know. That's why I gave you just a fraction of it. This is a fraction? I can tear apart Oblivion with my own bare hands if I wanted to. You're telling me this is just a fraction? Just a few minutes ago, he could have killed me and destroyed the rest of the multiverse. But it's all gone. Is this part of your plan? I lost everyone I loved and the planet I called home. Young man, that power can do anything, remember that. Now, Ruid stand up and turn around, as he does see the old man he met once before. It's you. Hello, young man. The power I gave you, I gave it to you because I know what you are going to do next. How do I restore everything? That's easy. I can train you, show you how. That power you do possess, it's quite a bit. In fact, it would be child's play to do what I could do. Maybe. But can you teach me? Now, the one above all would smile, as he would guide Midoriya on what to do. And Midoriya would go on to restore the multiverse. Now, Midoriya would do this with a wave of a hand, as he would return to his life. Now, with that being said, we do then cut to about roughly a few years later, where Midoriya he is at the X Manor, and he is actually flying around and trying to dodge out of the way of some of the kids who are playing. As you do have the son of him and Laura, along with the son of him and Rogue. Now, this child that Midoriya does have with Laura, she is quite a strong fighter. Her regeneration is higher than Midoriya's, and her strength, right now, is at the same level as Midoriya's was as a child. Along with that, she can also create the tendrils out of her back, and she has also possessed the power of flight. And you do then have the child between Midoriya and Rogue, who, this young boy, he does actually seem to have a personality similar to the way Kirk is, a bit more carefree and easygoing. As you do then actually have another kid Midoriya would have, as it's the kid between him and Magic. This 4-year-old boy does come running up, and he does turn his skin into a metallic surface, as he does go to tell his dad that he's invincible. And Midoriya he would somewhat laugh. Now, while that's all happening, we do actually cut to inside the manor, where Midoriya he's at the table currently discussing something with someone else. As this is also going on in Genosha, and it's going on in the Inhuman Nation, where Midoriya is spending time with Momo of the Inhumans. And Black Bolt, he is getting ready to welcome his nephew into the world, since this boy is a mix of Inhuman and mutant biology. As we also do cut to the dining table, or let's just say the library, where there's a version of Midoriya with each girl he is with. Now, Midoriya, he is also currently talking with, let's just say, Polaris, as him and her are walking through the hall. And she does ask him if he really did lose the gauntlet that day. Yeah, I did. Why? Well, it's just hard to believe. You tossed it away into oblivion? Yeah, I did. Besides, that way no one else can find it. If they can, then it's going to be quite difficult. Besides, what I hold now in my hands? Wait a sec. Talking about how he holds the power of the universe itself, and that no one can really stop him. I see that. Then again, I don't think that that power is your only one. I mean, how many kids are you about to have? Now, but I would say that he has one with Laura, Rogue, Magic, and, well, Wanda, she has Max on the way, and she just told him about that earlier this morning. And Momo, she's already, well, preparing things at home, since the kid is going to be royalty. Now, Midoriya and Polaris will both sit down, as Polaris would then just talk about how Midoriya truly is a master deception, and he is such a very smooth talker. I don't know too much about that. Please. Besides, you're very busy. I mean, all 5 of the sisters at once? That's kind of strange. They all wanted a kid. What do you mean, though? Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I'm just saying. Isn't it weird for them? I mean, not really. they're a hive mind, so they'll experience the same thing. So I think it'd just be weird if it was not all of them. Jeez. At this rate, things are going to be going very bad. I don't doubt it. But hey, I can manage it all. I've been doing well so far. I know. And, well, about that, I was hoping to talk to you about something. Now, Midoriya and Polaris would have a chat, as Midoriya does know what Polaris is going to say next. Now, the two would have a conversation. As Midoriya, he does go to walk out of the room. And you do actually then have Magneto, who would be there standing, asking Midoriya if he does have a moment to talk. Sure thing. Now, Midoriya and Magneto will both walk and talk, as Magneto would reveal that he doesn't really care that Midoriya has a relationship with both of his daughters. I'm aware. Yes, as long as both of them are happy. You do believe that you can keep them happy, correct? Yes, I do. Besides, how did you like meeting Max? The young man reminds me of myself whenever I was younger. He's a very optimistic boy. In a future where everyone he knew was dead, even his grandfather and grandparents, he was optimistic. It was nice meeting him. Well, I got some good news for you. You might have another grandson coming soon, or another granddaughter. Oh, are you and Polaris there yet? I mean, kinda. She was just talking about it with me. And I mean, she does know how I feel about it. Now, as this is said, you do actually then have two kids who do come running by. As Midoriya's daughter with Laura does come running, and then there is a young boy. Both these two running past Magneto and Midoriya. As Midoriya would turn and shout that Nate and him then saying his daughter's name, let's just say Diana, do need to calm down. Now, these two, they do continue running. And Midoriya, he would have a flashback to younger days, where him, Kitty, and Kirk all used to play tag. Now, Kitty and Kirk right now, they're actually awaiting their own second kid. And Midoriya, he's happy for both of them. As you do actually then have Midoriya, who does go to his own room. And he does actually then go to write something down on a piece of paper. Now, Midoriya, he does begin to write a story. Everything he's ever done in his life. It could be simply put into a book. And he feels like he should publish it. Now, Midoriya does then look up towards the sky, as he does say a few simple words. Thank you. Now, Midoriya would just then say, Excelsior. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. Have an amazing night. I'll catch you guys in the next part.